Just met my true soulmate. Bye, you pathetic loser. At 3 in the morning, she messaged me from the nightclub, attaching pictures of her locking lips with another man. I didn't answer. I simply turned off the screen and went back to sleep. When morning came, I gathered all my belongings and walked away. Left a single note. Congrats. She returned around midday and rang me in tears. Her so-called soulmate had vanished without a trace. I replied, sorry, wrong contact, and ended the call. Hey everyone, before we jump into the video, please hit that subscribe button and drop a like if you enjoy these kinds of real-life tales. If you've got your own experience to tell, send it my way. Contact details are in the description. I'd be happy to feature it in a future upload. Thank you. It finally hit me. I'd been nothing more than a walking ATM with feelings until the final moment. For 3 full years, I played the reliable choice. I was the one covering rent for our nice 2-bedroom place right in the heart of the city. I handled the automatic car insurance renewals, kept groceries in the fridge, and kept her credit card balance, mostly from her spending, under control. I was the bedrock. But like any builder will explain, nobody admires the foundation. They admire the scenery. And Jessica craved scenery. At 26, Jessica lived like an 18-year-old handed unlimited credit. She had a part-time gig managing social media for a tiny boutique that hardly turned a profit, meaning she spent most of her shift on TikTok and the rest pretending to be busy. Meanwhile, I clocked 60-hour weeks in supply chain coordination, solving crisis after crisis, only to return to a pile of dirty dishes and a partner who let out a dramatic sigh whenever I asked about her day. The problems didn't show up suddenly. They were tiny stress fractures I chose to overlook because I believed that's what commitment required. I believed real manhood meant soaking up the disorder and delivering security. The moment that truly cracked everything, though I didn't see it then, occurred 2 nights before the collapse. Tuesday evening, I dragged myself through the door at 8 p.m., completely spent. I'd been awake since 5 a.m. My eyes stung from hours of Excel. All I craved was reheated leftovers, some brain-dead TV, and unconsciousness. Jessica sat perched on the kitchen island, glued to her phone, a half-drunk glass of white beside her. She didn't even glance up. Hey, I muttered, tossing keys into the dish. Did you have dinner? I got sushi, she answered, eyes still on the screen. Not enough for you, though. Had no idea when you'd show up. I noticed the empty takeout boxes littering the living room table. I hadn't eaten since noon. All right, no worries. I'll throw together a sandwich. I opened the fridge. Ham, cheese, scraps of mustard at the bottom. While I smeared mustard across old bread, she finally lifted her gaze. The look wasn't warm. It was pure, undiluted boredom. Is this really our life, Mark? She asked. I froze, butter knife hovering. Is what our life? This. She waved a lazy hand toward me. The sandwich. The apartment. The same old pattern. You drag yourself in. You're wiped out. You eat a sandwich. You crash. Everything feels so dull. I inhaled slowly, fighting to stay even. It's called having a job, Jess. I'm exhausted. I'm grinding so we can take that Cabo vacation you've been begging for on your birthday. She rolled her eyes dramatically, sliding off the counter. It's never about money with you. You turn everything into dollars. It's about excitement. Passion. You behave like you're already middle-aged. You're so secure. So reliable. So stable. Stable, I repeated quietly. Boring, she shot back, voice climbing. I want someone who lights me up, Mark. Not someone who makes me feel like I'm stuck in a doctor's waiting room. She marched past and slammed the bedroom door. I remained in the kitchen. The fridge's low hum was the only sound. I finished my sandwich standing over the sink. For the first time in 3 years, I didn't rush in to smooth things over. I no longer felt the need to say sorry for being the person who kept everything running. 2 nights later, Friday, the week had crushed me. An international container got held at customs. I spent 12 hours arguing with freight forwarders and furious customers. My mind felt pureed. When I finally reached home, my body seemed twice as heavy. The place smelled strongly of designer fragrance and styling products. Jessica stood in the living area looking stunning. I can't lie. Tight black dress I recognized from the $300 charge last week. Hair perfect, makeup on point. She radiated energy. Music thumped. She danced around pouring tequila shots. Girls' night out, she declared before I could open my mouth. Don't bother staying awake. Wasn't going to, I answered, tugging my tie loose. I'm running on fumes. She gave me that same pity-disdain cocktail from Tuesday. Walked over, not for a kiss, but to snatch her purse from the table behind me. At least pretend to be alive while I'm gone. All right? She said, checking herself in the hall mirror. I need to let loose. I need energy. I need people who actually understand fun. Enjoy yourself, I said flatly. She didn't reply, just left. Heels clicked down the corridor, then the elevator arrived. I locked up, peeled off my work clothes, and fell into bed. 9:30 p.m. I didn't realize it then, but that would be my final night sleeping beside her as her partner. I shut my eyes. Exhaustion pulled me under. While I slept, she chased her excitement. And she found it. My phone buzzed violently on the nightstand. Sharp, insistent insect noise in the silent dark. Eyes cracked open. Clock glowed 3:14 a.m. First instinct. Work disaster, flipped semi, warehouse blaze. I grabbed the phone, squinting at the glare. Not work. Jessica. No words at first. Just a photo. My foggy brain needed seconds to process. Club lighting. Strobe chaos. Center frame. Jessica, head tilted back, eyes shut in bliss. A guy pressed against her, kissing her hungrily. Classic bad boy package. Slick back hair, leather jacket, excessive chains. The type that reeks of discount aftershave and poor choices. Then the message appeared below. Found him at last. A genuine man. Someone with real passion who truly understands me. Soulmates. Sorry, Mark, you're just dull. Goodbye, loser. Don't bother waiting. I stared. Read it once. Read it again. Waited for fury. Waited for agony. Waited for the chest-crushing weight. The impulse to smash the phone or scream into it. None came. Instead, I felt weightless. Like someone sliced the 3-year backpack of stress off my back. The endless worry about her shopping sprees. The tiptoeing around her boring accusations. The fatigue of being the only grown-up. All of it vanished in the phone's light. She'd handed me the escape I could never create myself. A clear, no guilt, unmistakable door out. Okay. I whispered to the empty bedroom. No reply. No screenshot. Yet. I silenced the phone, flipped it over, rolled away. And then I did the thing that shocks everyone who hears this. I fell back asleep. Not broken sleep. Liberated sleep. For the first time in years, I didn't wonder if she'd return safely. She wasn't my responsibility anymore. She belonged to her soulmate now. I slept soundly, without dreams, and woke at exactly 8 a.m. No alarm. Apartment quiet. Her side of the bed untouched. I brewed coffee, drank it standing at the window, watching the city, feeling an icy, sharp focus. Then I began the real task, removing myself from her existence. I dragged suitcases down from the closet shelf. Didn't take the shared stuff. No furniture, no TVs she chose, no matching dinnerware. I wanted lightweight freedom. Clothes, laptop, important papers, watches, personal keepsakes only. 45 minutes. Next, laptop open. Logged into the shared account, where I deposited 90%. Moved every dollar of my savings to my solo account. Then the credit card site. Saw last night's charges. Velvet Room $450. Uber Black $85. Late night booze $120. She'd funded her own betrayal with my money. Clicked report lost/stolen on her card. Instant cancellation. Then I phoned the landlord. Hi, Mr. Henderson, it's Mark. I'm activating the early termination clause. I'm sending the penalty plus 2 months rent right now, but please take my name off the lease effective today. Jessica will assume full responsibility. Is she aware? He asked, puzzled. She will be, I answered. Transferred the funds. Expensive. Worth every cent. By 10 a.m. finished. Bags waiting at the door. Apartment looked unchanged, but empty of me. Spare key removed from ring, placed on kitchen island. Grabbed yellow sticky note and marker. One word, congratulations. Stuck it down. Didn't glance back. Locked the door. Got in my car. Checked into a nice downtown hotel. Ordered a huge breakfast. Halfway through Eggs Benedict, phone started vibrating. Noon. Screen showed Jessica. Let it ring out. It rang again instantly. Then texts. Then another call. I wiped my mouth, sipped coffee, answered calmly. Hello. Mark. Hysterical. Not rage, pure panic. Traffic noise and background. Where are you? Oh my God, where are you? At breakfast, I said. Why? Why? My card got declined for the Uber. I'm stuck on the sidewalk in this dress and heels. I heard the crying, the gasping breaths. Okay. That's it. Okay. Come get me. Send an Uber. Something's broken with the account. I sliced another piece of sausage. Where's your soulmate? Long, heavy pause. Then louder, messiest sobs. He left, she choked. Woke up in the hotel room alone. He said he'd grab coffee. Then he was gone. Checked out. Mark, he left me with the bill. I had to use my emergency cash for room service. He blocked me everywhere. Naturally. Classic predator move. Sensed vulnerability. Took what he wanted. Disappeared at sunrise. Sounds rough, I said. Mark, please, she wailed. I'm sorry. I was wasted. Huge mistake. I didn't mean those messages. I was just dumb. Please come get me. We can fix this. I love you. The I love you landed like sour air, desperate, hollow. You don't love me, Jess. You love what I provide. That's not true. Please, baby, stop hurting me. Just come get me. I'm not hurting you. I'm hearing you. You call me boring. Said you found a real man. Said goodbye. I didn't mean it. But I did. I moved out, Jess. Place is yours now. Lease is only in your name. Joint account closed. Cards canceled. What? Voice fell to a whisper. You moved out. Packed while you were sleeping off your soulmate adventure. I'm gone. Keys on the counter. You can't do this. Anger rising through the fear. I have no money. How do I pay rent? How do I even get home? Asked the guy with passion. Maybe he owns a bus ticket. Mark, you're acting insane. You're abandoning me. You said goodbye. Loser. I reminded her. The loser obeyed. You've got the wrong number. Mark, don't. I ended the call. Blocked her immediately. Took another bite. Eggs were perfect. Quiet didn't last. Blocking her was like capping a pressure cooker. Something had to give. 2 hours later, call from Sarah, Jessica's ride or die. Sarah loved chaos because her own marriage was miserable. Voicemail. Texts poured in. Sarah, you're a disgusting person. She's breaking down. How could you leave her with nothing? I ignored. Busy securing long-term Airbnb, rebuilding my life. Then the big gun, Jessica's mom. Never liked me. Thought I was too working class for her daughter, even though I out-earned her husband 3 times over. Linda's message. Just spoke with my daughter. She's crying. You deserted her in an emergency? After 3 years? You're a petty, spiteful little man. Fix this, or I'll show up at your workplace and make a scene you'll never live down. That crossed the line. Threatening my job over the freedom I'd just paid for? I realized Jessica hadn't told the full story. She painted me as the sudden villain. I sighed. Opened the big group chat. 12 people, Sarah, cousins, mutuals. Then DM to mom. No long speech. No character defense. Just attached one screenshot. The 3:14 a.m. text plus photo. Her words crystal clear. Found him. Soulmates. Goodbye, loser. Group caption. For everyone wondering why I left, Jessica ended things last night for her soulmate. I simply honored her choice. Questions? Direct them to him. Same screenshot to mom. Here's the emergency you mentioned. Perhaps her soulmate can assist with the meltdown. Instant reaction. Typing gone. Silence. No more from Sarah. No more from mom. The flying monkeys were grounded with one clean shot of reality. No way to defend goodbye, loser. 2 weeks later, landlord email, courtesy copy. Jessica missed rent. Since I was off the lease, eviction process started. He noted the unit was trashed when inspected. Trash piled up, wine stains on carpet. She'd fallen apart. Without someone to feed off, she couldn't function. She moved back to her parents' place in the suburbs. The nightmare scenario she'd always dreaded. 90 days. That's roughly how long it takes to fully withdraw from a toxic lifestyle. 3 months later, I transformed. New loft near work. Exposed brick walls Jessica would have despised. Gym 4 times a week. Skin better. Savings climbing. Slept peacefully every night. Sunday morning. Coffee shop. Reading news on my phone. A shadow fell across the table. Looked up. Her. Not Club Jessica. This version was faded. Hair in a sloppy ponytail. Roots showing. Sweatpants that had given up. She looked worn. Broken. Mark. Voice tiny. I didn't rise. Didn't smile. Just watched her over my cup. Jessica. She fidgeted, gripping her bag strap. Saw your car outside. I just wanted to check on you. I'm doing excellent, I said plainly. What do you want? She winced at the directness. I wanted to say sorry. Really sorry. I know I ruined everything. I know I hurt you terribly. You didn't hurt me. I corrected. You set me free. Please don't say that. Tears forming. My life is ruined, Mark. Living with mom again. Lost the apartment. Friends ghosted me after you shared that photo. I'm alone. She waited for sympathy. Waited for the rescuer reflex. I miss what we had, she whispered. I miss my best friend. Can't we grab coffee? Try again. I finally understand what I lost. I placed my cup down carefully. You didn't lose anything, Jessica. You discarded it. You were holding a golden ticket. A man who loved you, carried you, built everything for you. And you exchanged it for tequila shots and a random guy in leather. Everyone screws up sometimes, she cried. Heads turned in the cafe. Cheating isn't a screw-up, I said, standing, grabbing keys. It's a chain of decisions. You decided to party. You decided to kiss him. You decided to send that message. And I decided to take you at your word. I moved toward the exit. She grabbed my arm. Mark, please. He meant nothing. You're the one I truly want. I stared at her hand until she released me. You don't want me. You want the security. The paid bills. But here's the reality about security, Jess. Once you torch the safe house, you don't get to whine about getting wet. So that's really it, she sobbed. 3 years, nothing? It was an education, I said. I pushed open the door. Bell jingled brightly. Goodbye, Jessica. I stepped into sunlight. Didn't look back. Didn't need to. Got in the car. Turned up the music. Drove off. I finally had a life. And it belonged entirely to me. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed. What are your thoughts on this story? Drop them in the comments below.